All right, well, hello, my little beauties, and welcome to today's little live stream with me, David Connolly, the web developer extraordinaire. And hello to Doranov, the Dark Destroyer, who joins us there. Very nice to see you. I hope everything is going well. And I do apologize if I look like a ghost, but I don't have any fake tan on today. I've been getting these, as you know. You really want to hear this, right? But I've been getting these white patches appearing, and you can see one of them here. I've pointed it out a few times, and there's one or two others, and they've started to kind of spread. They're not scaly, they're smooth, and I don't know what it is. I've been on the Chat GPT and what have you, and Chat GPT thinks it's vitiligo when you get these white patches, and I've got really white skin at the best of times. Um, why did I mention that? Probably because I'm looking a bit ghostly. Anyway, hello, how are you? Very nice to see you. Um, I've been doing these things, these little live streams for a few weeks now, and the idea is you come on and you do this, and I've realised that I haven't actually got much to say. Once you get to the point of you don't think rewrite culture is a great idea, once you get to the point of you think web development is best when it's simple. Once you get to the point of maybe third party dependency is not such a great thing. Well, apart from that, there's not much left to say. So I thought I would try something a wee bit different today, something kind of experimental, a little bit fun. We're going to try an AI experiment and just see how it goes. Now, if you read the description, you'll get full details of this. I'm just starting up XAMPP as we speak here, and I have no idea how this is going to go. It could be a complete disaster. If it is a complete disaster, that's fine, but we'll give it 1 hour and we'll see if we can achieve this. So I'm just starting up XAMPP. I'll show you my screen. I hope you can see this okay. So I'll just go like this, and here we are. All right. Now, I was mucking about with a little thing the other day. It was a sort of framework was Fire. What was it? What was it called again? HTMX versus Strongate, and I built this thing. So let's just use this site that we've got here, and I'm just going to make a very simple HTML page, and I'm going to do that right about now. So if I go to books/test, then I'm going to make this view file here. We'll call it test.php, and that should show up. Yep, okay, cool. Right, excellent. So this is going to be our start point. And the idea is that we're going to get two AI bots talking to each other. And the goal is to see if we can get them to write a simple noughts and crosses game. I believe it's also called tic-tac-toe. Is that right? Anyway, I'm going to try and see if I can get these two bots to do this. Now, I've got ChatGPT open here. I've got Perplexity open here. There's not going to be any coding from me. Nothing fancy, no API stuff or anything. I'm going to be literally just copying and pasting. And I'm genuinely curious to see how this goes. I had tried something like this in the past. Effectively getting two AIs to talk to each other and try and solve a problem. I can't remember what it was. But in the end, all they did was came up with this big old to-do list. And then one would say, here's the to-do list, we should do this. And the other would say, I agree, it's a fantastic to-do list, we should do this. And the other would say, it's a really great to-do list. And they get caught in this cycle of agreeing on how great this to-do list was. So I think that we are going to have to play referee here, and we are going to have to intervene occasionally if there is a conversational dead end. But nevertheless, it should be an interesting little conversation. And as I look at my watch, it reminds me maybe we should have a quick wristwatch check, as is the custom. Now, by the way, I'm going to give you a disclaimer. I was giving my mum a hand today taking some gardening waste to the dump, the recycling centre. 18 bags of hedge trimmings and all sorts of dirt and everything. It was pretty messy. So my hands are very dirty. I'm not long back. So, and I was like that, scrubbing them before I came on, but it's going to take a bit longer. So my hands are very dirty. Forgive me. But here's what we're wearing today. It's a fantastic, I'll take it off for you. It's a little Seagull automatic here. Here it is right here, folks. So here it is right here. Again, I apologize for my dirty hands. And it's very, very beautiful, fully automatic, And this one actually belongs to my very good friend who may be watching, David. His name is David as well. An extremely successful software developer who is the reason why I've been able to work on Tongate pretty much full time. So thank you, Dave, and hopefully I'll have an opportunity to buy this off of you soon, along with some of these other incredible watches that you've left here, Anyway, it's going to be this. I really like dress watches recently, and I just think if you're going to dress nicely, you might as well go the whole way, So that's that. It's a Seagull. I don't know what model it is, but I think it's kind of nice, I got a laugh today when I was at this dump. I says, my mum was there, and I says, you know what? I says, I'm the best dressed guy in the whole dump. And a couple of people overheard that and thought it was funny. Anyway, you have to make a start somewhere, right? So, right, wristwatch check done. Everything is now cool. I'm just, let's get our text editor up and going. So we'll see how this goes. It may be a complete waste of time, but I think it will be interesting. It'll give us a little idea about what this AI stuff can do. Okay, we have Doronov here. Maybe a third AI should be the referee. I actually thought about that, but I think it could get complicated. White patch could be vitiligo. Yeah, I've got a few of these white patches. Here, there, and everywhere. And you can see one on my forehead, and it's really, really, it's really, really annoying. And I've been trying to work out what it is, and it's actually getting bigger as well. So I'm probably going to have to get it checked out, Here's Nellius, new name, was looking out for the Oisin O'Malley video. You know what? I presume that you're a watch enthusiast. I'll say this much about Oisin O'Malley. I like him, and I can't help but like him. I think he has a lot going for him, and he actually sent me a really, really great email one time, and it was at a time when I needed advice, and he was great. So I wish him well. I think he's fantastic. Something flying about in here. Oisin O'Malley is really great, and I like his channel and everything, but his politics are batshit crazy. I mean, his politics are utterly insane. As a perfectly serious statement, he must have been privately educated or lived in a gated community or something. I think his politics are utterly insane. Utterly insane. I don't care. There are people here of all sides of the political spectrum, and that's great. But some of the things that he has come out with lately, I think, are really, really crazy. But I encourage him to say those things. I don't in any way believe in attacking people or anything like that for expressing their viewpoints. If somebody comes out with something that appears to be crazy, it's for the rest of us to convince them otherwise through reason and persuasion. So I'm absolutely Yes, I do think his politics are insane, but I like the guy. Um, he seems like a cool dude to me. I wish him well, and I'm certainly not participating in some bullshit watch soap opera, um, because I don't participate in bullshit watch soap operas. Um, Funnily enough, though, if you would like a little bit of drama, I can give you some before we start. Um, there's Okay. Here's an interesting wee segue from the with the a rare moment where the watch community potentially joins with the web development community. Um, yes, I like watches, and I've noticed that the watch scene on YouTube is a madhouse. Um, and the funny thing is, I'm not involved in it. I had a watch channel. I did about 3 videos, but I'm taking it down. I'm gone. Best of luck, everybody. But I have to tell you about one thing that I noticed, and I'm going to tell you this, and one or two people are going to be, forgive the phrase, but there's going to be one or two people, let's be graceful, who are going to feel slightly nervous when I say what I'm about to say. Rest assured, I'm a professional and I'm not going to participate in anything, okay? You have that assurance. But I'm going to tell you something that I think is interesting. Um, I'm not, uh, I, I'm not even watching any of those watch soap operas anymore. Not involved, okay? But I did notice, uh, I don't know if I should tell you this. I don't know if I should tell you this. Should I tell you this? He-Man, talk to me. Doranov, I trust you. Say yes or no. Just say yes or no. If it's a no, I'm not going to discuss it. I'll wait. We're waiting. All right, well, no response. So I'll just. No, right, I'm not going to discuss it. Okay, cool. Well, I won't discuss it, but I'll allude to it very, very in the most graceful and delicate way possible that won't cause any distress, okay? So thank you, Doranov. We won't go into it too much. But what I will say, and I think I can get away with saying this, is that I had noticed there was somebody within that community who appeared to be terrorizing other people. And this person is, and I use present tense, bending over backwards to stay anonymous. And the last I looked, there's all sorts of legal threats and everything. I have to stay very vague and I have to not name anybody. I'm not involved in it, okay? But nevertheless, it did come to my attention that there's one person, maybe more than one, playing that game. And entirely out of interest, you have to be careful when you present yourself in that manner on the web, because uh, well, let's put it this way. If you create an account, uh, and let's just say you call the account um, Dangerous Hacker Guy, okay, I'm being vague, but let's say that you set up an account and you're going to be Dangerous Hacker Guy and that's your handle. If you do that, there's a fairly good chance that you're going to attract the attention of somebody like me. And when somebody like me comes along, I can assure you, I could describe in 2 minutes, 2 minutes, how I could get IDs, addresses, and what you had for breakfast. I could do it right now. No coding required. I do have this skill set. Some of you know that I did work for the IT division of the police. And yes, just like Liam Neeson, I do have a certain skill set. So it's interesting that I could see all of this soap opera and legal threats and everything like that. And all I would say is I'm not involved. I'm not going to get involved. But everybody should be aware. Everybody should be aware that you're not anonymous online. Believe me. And if I was to spend 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, I could say, here's how you fight. Forget the lawyer. No need for lawyers. No need for, big old soap operas and all sorts of threats and staying up at night. In 2 minutes, I could just say, here's what you do. And suddenly nobody's anonymous, including me. I'm very, very easy to find, by the way. So all I would say is anybody, well, first of all, I I don't have, funnily enough, the guy who is positioning himself in this way has done nothing against me. He sounds very pleasant and he sounds like a thoroughly cool guy. Uh, Absolutely. A fine gentleman. But without any veiled threat, I'm not involved. I'm not planning on becoming involved or becoming a target or anything. But one of the things that I learned as a web developer, and everybody watching knows this, there's certain things that you never do in the world of IT. You never say, this stuff is impossible to hack. You never ever say that, right? And the other thing you don't do is you don't position yourself, pardon me, I've got a cup of coffee here. You don't position yourself as, I'm the scarily, warily, hacky guy. Just don't do it, because there's hundreds of people like me who look at that and they just think, this school leaver thinks that he's anonymous and he's really not. I promise, right? That's not a veiled threat or anything. There is no threat. I'm just letting you know we're not anonymous. I'm not anonymous. That's for sure. All right. Kind of interesting though, eh? So, shall we get going with this ridiculous experiment thing? Let's do it then, and here we go. Right, so what I've done is I've made a little page here, like this. So it's just a little web page. And the goal is we're going to see if we can get ChatGPT talking to Perplexity as two developers talking to each other, with the goal of making the game of noughts and crosses, right? So what I'm going to do is this. I'll start this off by saying, okay, I have a task that I would like you to do for me. Your goal is to build a browser-based version of the game Noughts and Crosses. Okay. Now, how am I gonna do this? Okay. Okay, pardon me. So I have a task I would like you to do for me. The goal is to build a browser-based version of the game Noughts and Crosses. I have XAMPP up and running, and I have already created a working web page with the following source code. All right. So with the following source code, Here we go. Okay. Now, my role in all of this is to assist you with the web development of this project. You are allowed to ask questions, ask for clarification, make suggestions, disagree, or do whatever you think will help to push the project forward. I'd like you to start this conversation /project by asking me the question, can you please tell me how to build a browser-based version of the game Noughts and Crosses? If you understand, please proceed and ask me the question. If you do not understand the task I've given you, please let me know what clarification you require. All right, I think that's about it. So let's do this. Okay, excellent. So we're out of the starting blocks and here we go. Now I'll keep an eye on the chat thing, tic-tac-toe. I was meaning to say that. Is it not? How did I spell knots wrong? Oh, hold on a second. Knots? Is that not what I said? Knots. What did I say? No, I think that's the spelling. Okay, hold on. Is it noughts and crosses, or is it knots and G? Things like that. It's knots. I knew it was knots because it means nout, nothing. Right. Well, that was a typo. Okay, hold on. I think you can spell it both ways. Actually, forgive me, folks. Stuff like this just, I have to get this right. It bothers me. I got it right. Knots and crosses, I got it right. Yeah, I got it right. That's fine. I got it right. To whomever corrected me, you were wrong. You, Nellius. All right. No, it looks. Oh, geez, we're certainly getting. Look. There's noughts and crosses. It's a novel. See? Novel series. Here's what I typed. I typed noughts and crosses like that. And if I do that, see? Oh, hang on. But look, how do you play noughts and crosses? Well, we certainly fell at the first hurdle here. No. There's different spelling. That's the UK spelling. But the sensible spelling is like, you know what? Can we just move on? Can we just move on? Geez, we certainly right. Okay, tic-tac-toe. That's what I should have said. Um, but they're going with noughts. But I think that there's two spellings. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. Can we please move on with the experiment? All right. Thank you. Thank you. Fair enough. Let's move on. Right. Okay. So a browser-based version of the game. Oh, jeez, man, that's really thrown me. Um, I'll go with this. Right now, let me just head into perplexity. We do have an experiment to do here, right? And I'm going to just say I have already created a web page, and I have the following starter code. Talk about falling at the first hurdle. Anyway, at least we get a nice, honest live stream here, right? Okay, so here we go. Right. Wow. Okay, I think it's got it. Right, okay. Well, it might be the case that this whole task is finished before it's even started. So let me just paste this in. I'm imagining it's got this from GitHub or something. It's adding in a little bit of styling. Wouldn't it be funny if that was it? End of live stream. This would be the crappiest live stream ever. Right, here we go. So now we've got a wee bit of JavaScript. We'll do it all on the same page here, you know. So I'm just going to say script and then go like that. Okay. So we've got the JavaScript. We've got the styling stuff, which is here. And we've got the HTML, okay? So let's now give this a little try. If this works, we're going to... Oh, gee. It's X's turn. It's O's turn. It's X's turn. It's O's turn. It's X's turn. Get out of here. Well, that was easy. I guess we're going to have to find another way to make a living. Oh, gee. Oh, man. That was too easy. What do I do now? If I went back and says, I mean, there it is. There it is. It's got the CSS and everything, you know? Okay. Well, I tell you what. I'm going to go like that. I might as well just continue, okay? Sure, here's the code. It works, but the only problem is it doesn't put a line through the three items when there is a win. Let's see if it can figure out how to do a line. Your code is fantastic, and here's the thing with the necessary changes. So add this class to the winning cells when a player wins. Okay. That's crazy. Win line, right? Flex, align items, win before. Yeah. What can you do? So AI, yeah, is designed to be a sycophant and will agree with just about anything. Don't base it, yeah. Ask the AI to come up with a game design and tell it that it has to instruct another AI to build it. Yeah, maybe. Um, the trouble with that though is I'd be worried in case it got locked in a big 5,000 lines of C or something like that thing, you know? Um, but yeah, that was the most rubbish experiment ever. I mean, I think it's actually figured out how to do the winning lines as well. Okay, well, there you have it. That was my live stream. That was it. And I planned on dragging that out for an hour. But what can I tell you? Oh, well, you know what? Whatever's going on here, I don't even care. It got the basics of the game nailed, you know? All right. Um, if Nah, I think I'm done with it, Doranov, and I've spent enough time with SVGs with AI to know that it's not that good at doing this kind of thing, you know. So, okay, let's just blow the whistle. Well, with that being the case, I guess that was the end of the experiment. So, if there's anything else you want to talk about, do let me know. And if there's nothing you want to talk about, then I'm going to hit the road and go and do a bit of work. So, let me know. I'm not going to do any other AI shenanigans today. The last one was such a roaring success story. It never occurred to me that it was going to just get something from GitHub, which is what I think just happened, you know. So that was duff. I tell you what, maybe we could try the Framework Wars challenge again with Trongate and HTMX. Try and beat the 14-minute mark. Maybe that'd be a good way to wrap this up. Shall we try that? Because I did this Framework Wars yesterday with Trongate versus HTMX, and I think that Trongate did pretty well, but maybe not too well. There was a couple of things that I realised I missed out. I missed out how to edit the things, you know, and yeah, it just took longer than I thought it would actually. Do you want to try it then, Doranov? Now I think it's going to take me 20 minutes, and that's probably if I get the edit feature going. So if you want, we can give it a go, and we'll just see how it goes then. Shall we just try it? All right. Well, let me get a stopwatch and we will do that. Okay, so change of plan, change of plan. I'm going to hang about here and got to do something, right? So let's bring up the tutorial. Okay, so it's this one here. I think it's going to take me 20 minutes, but we'll give it our best shot. So if we have a wee look here.
All right then, gang.
And again, just
Hey there, gang, and welcome to your very first.
Just to stress the point, Net Ninja is awesome. If you're watching this, Net Ninja, get in touch with me. I'd like to hire you. He's great, and that's not in doubt. In fact, of all of the framework wars that I've done, this is the one where I felt as if the case could be made that I lost, you know. He's really that good. So this is what we'll try and build then. I'm not going to do the search feature, but I'll try and do the basic CRUD. And if I can just find a stopwatch, or if somebody could time this for me, we'll try and do it in under 20 minutes, okay? It's a 10-part series, 12-part series. But we'll try and do it in under 20 minutes, which would be pretty good, you know. All right. Shall I find a watch? I'm surrounded by watches, but I don't have a digital one, you know. Maybe I could. I wonder if I could use this. What do you reckon? Nah, it's kind of difficult to read. Gee, where's a stopwatch when you need one? You'll time it again, right? Okay, Doronov, you are the timer. Thank you very much. All right, we'll aim for 20 minutes then, okay? And here we go. So I might as well just clear the decks. I'll keep an eye on this. And as I say, the target is, well, Doronov, you tell me. We could either aim for just create and delete in under 14 minutes, or we could do create, delete, and edit in under 20 minutes. Which of the two do you think's the best one to try for? I'm just waiting here. And while I'm waiting, I'll just open up this desktop app. Create and delete is fine. Okay, so we'll try and do create and delete in 14 minutes or less. All right, here we go then. 14 minutes or less. And if I'm feeling good, I'll try and do the edit as well, okay? So if you're ready, Doronov, then here we... Wait for it. Here we go. All right, so let's kick this one off. I'll make sure my screen's working. We'll kick this one off by creating a new app. I'm going to say third time lucky. Had a couple of attempts, you know, and we'll just do that. I'm going to choose a location for the new app. We're going to chuck it inside htdocs. We're generating a new app, and we're going to immediately create a new module. The module name is going to be book. We're going to have a navigation label without an icon. We're then going to open up the properties builder, where we're going to have a book title, and we're also going to have an author, something like that. Then we're not going to have a URL column. We'll order by ID ascending, and we are going to generate. So now we can view our module, and very quickly we can add some books in. So F. Scott Fitz Gerald. Let's see what else we got. I've got an autocomplete here, let's do Great Expectations, Charles Dickens, and let's do, what else have we got? The Story of My Success by me. All right, so I've just created 3 books. Now I'm going to open up the text editor, and we'll open up our site here. So it's in htdocs. It's called Third Time Lucky, and here it is. All right. So the module is called Books, and I'm going to go right into the controller file, and we'll start by creating a little method that we're going to call demo. It's just going to load up a view file by the name of demo. So now we're going to say new file, demo.php, and then I'm going to just build some HTML here. Now on the style front, I'm going to have a style sheet at CSS trongate.css. I'm also going to load some JavaScript, and by the way, you can have it at the top of the source code, and the JavaScript's going to be trongatemx.js. All right, so then I'm going to have an H1, I think it says my reading list. My reading list, what do you want to read? Okay, so it's my reading list. Then down here, it's what do you want to read? Okay, now there's going to be a div upstairs here with an ID of page top. Then there's going to be a div. I'll call this result. And then, what else are we going to have? My reading list. Yeah, let's just have another with page. We'll call it page BTM, right? So we'll do that. We'll chuck this in here. And there's going to be a form here. Now the form is going to have an input field with a name of book, title, and a placeholder of enter book title here. Then we're going to have another one of these under here. This one is going to be called author. And we're just going to say enter author name here. Okay, then we're going to have a button. The button is going to have a type equal to submit. And then I think it's add record or just add, looks like. We do that. Excellent. So I'm going to just quickly save. And if we head to books/demo, there it is. All right. Now, let's do a wee bit of CSS to try and get it looking decent. So I'm going to say that the body has got a background color of, let me see. I'll go with all the E's. And all of this stuff is going to be inside a div with a class of container XS. So if we go like this and then go like this and a little smug indent, there we go. So now we're going to have our H1, which is going to get a font size of, I'll try 28, and the H2 is going to get a font size, and I'll try 23. Both the H1 and the H2 are going to get text align off center. And there we go. Okay, now the next thing is, let's focus on this form. I'm going to have 3 divs here. And so each of these is going to go inside a div. I don't even know if this is entirely necessary, but we'll do it anyway. So something like that. And then we'll go like that. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to say that if we're talking about the page bottom and it's the form, then we're going to say that display is grid, and grid template columns, I'm just going to say 3FR, 3FR, 1FR. We're going to say grid gap is 0. Okay, now for the buttons, we'll say that the background color is tomato, border is 1 pix, tomato, solid, and then I'm just going to say margin top 0. Okay, that's pretty cool. For the grid, let's make the grid gap 0.33 something like that. And indeed, for the one here, let's make the border 2 pix. 2 pix. Something like that. It might not be the exact color, but there we go. Okay, next thing is I'm going to make up an endpoint for fetching the books. So if we say something like that, I'll just say fetch, and then we'll say data rows is this, model get order by ID. Then I'm going to say this view, and I'll call it books list, and I'll pass in the data. So we're going to have a view file called bookslist.php. And if we go up here, we can just echo JSON rows. And if we're lucky and we go to books fetch, you can see we've got these rows here. So the idea is that this is going to be an unordered list with an ID, whoops, with an ID of books list. And I'm going to just say in PHP for each rows as row. I'm going to go out of PHP here, back in here. Let's have a little bit of that. And then each of these books is going to get an LI like this. And inside the li, we're going to have a div, an h3, we're going to have row. Actually, let's do the out function. Out, so it's going to be row book title, like that. And then we're going to have a paragraph without row author, like that. Okay, cool. So if I go back over to the previous page here, the idea is going to be that this result thing is going to have mx get. Now it's going to go to the base URL, books, fetch, and it's going to do that when the page loads. So we now get this. So now we'll do a wee bit of styling on the books list. So the books list is going to have list style type of none. I am going to give it a background color just so I can see the thing, you know. And the books list li, I'm giving it a background color as well, just so that I can see the thing. Okay, so if I say for the books list, padding is 0. For the li, I'm going to say display is flex, flex direction, row, align, items, center, justify content, space between. It does something like that. Going back to the books list here, we're going to have a button that says delete, like that. Anything else? Well, let's now get rid of the yellow color here, and let's make it that this background color is all the D's. Something like that. Now we'll do a little bit of padding here, maybe like 24 pixels. Border radius, 12 pixels. That's pretty good. Okay, that's quite cool. So now we are going to add records. Now to add records, we'll find our form here. I'm going to add autocomplete off because I get annoyed with these autocompletes, you know. Okay, so the idea is that we're going to do that. Whoops, the buttons are a bit dodgy, aren't they? So let me quickly sort that out. So button, hover, and I'll just keep it on that. All right. Border, well, whatever. We'll just keep it on that for now. The form is going to say mx post equals, and we're going to post to base URL books submit, and we'll say mx target equals result. So that's going to take us over to the submit endpoint. Now here we're going to say form close so that we can pass cross-site forgery requests. Over at the submit endpoint, we're going to add a little or statement here. So if submit is submit, or from Trongate mx is equivalent to true. So if that or that, then we go like this. And I'm going to just var dump result with a little die statement and see how we're doing here. So if we do that, you can see upstairs it says false, which is kind of cool. And I'm going to do that and it says true. Excellent. So the validation is working. Let's now deal with the validation errors. I'll do those first. So if from Trongate mx is true, then I'm going to just say echo validation errors 400. I want a 400 response with a die statement. Then back on the form, I'm just going to add a class of highlight errors. So if we refresh and then do that, now we've got this beautiful validation here. If I was being on the game, I would have said align items flex end, which would have made it, oh gee. Well, maybe that's something I'm going to have to look at. Now hang on a second. Yeah, that's going to have to be for, do you know what? Direct descendant div. Oh, gee, I've blown it. So background color lime, it's that one. So if I say display is flex, flex direction column, I'll say justify content, flex end, align items, flex end. I can't remember which one's what, but hopefully, yeah, that's kind of cool. So align items. Ah, there we go. That's perfect. So we've now got some very cool validation errors going on here. Now, when things go cool, what we're going to do? Well, we're going to say if from Trongi MX is true, then I'm just going to echo a little paragraph with green text like this, and I'm going to chuck in whatever this flash message is, and then we'll have a die statement like that, okay? So here we go. I'm going to say book for whoever, add it. Book was successfully created. I'm going to refresh. You can see that it's given us that book 4 here. So the next thing we want to do is tell the form that we'll say MX on success. So MX on success equals, and we're going to put in that result div again. So that means that when we go like this, another book, and we add it, now it's updating the list, and thank you very much indeed. That brings us on to the delete feature. So for that, we're going to say mx delete equals, so we'll have it go into the base URL books / submit delete. And then in here, we're going to have row ID like that. Okay. So that's going to do that. And again, we'll say mx on success equals, so on success, we're going to trigger the result thing again. Okay, so over to this endpoint here, we're going to go to the submit delete thing, and I'm going to just add a little or statement here. So if submit is that, or from Trongi MX is true. Okay, so if that's the case, we delete it, blah, 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 blah. And then if from Trongi MX is true, we'll just do a little die statement. So now we can delete and we can add and stop the clock. How did we do? Was I close? It was the CSS trap. Aye, it was the flex thing. Yeah. All right. Oh, 20 minutes 50. No way. 20:56. Can't be. I don't believe that took 20 minutes. 15 minutes 45. Right, that's more like it. So I missed the target by 1 minute 45. All right. Would you like to try that, Doranov? I don't know if I can't go much faster. I think that, well, let's think about this, right? The point, the point where I lost it was, it was definitely the CSS, and it was this flex shenanigans. Now, if I got that right first time, I think I would have saved 1 minute. I think I would have saved 1 minute. So that would mean 14. Yeah, I think I could do it in 14:45. I don't think I can go any faster than that though. But pretty good, right? Pretty good. Spends the whole day in one module. Jeez, I don't believe you for a second. Well, anyway, we'll try again, Doranov. We'll keep doing it until we get that right, you know. Folks, it has been a pleasure and a privilege. What a disastrous experiment that turned out to be with the AI thing. But I'm sure there will be other experiments in the future. It's nice to be talking about code anyway, right? Because all of that political madness is probably going to sort itself out one way or another, right? And it's nice to be just doing stupid things with code again, you know? Anyway, thank you very much indeed for being here. I'm probably going to go straight on to Twitch after this. So if anybody would like to join me and listen to some nice music or something, you're very welcome to join me on Twitch. I'll give you the address on the screen, just right here. So if you want to join me on Twitch, anyone, it's going to be, here we go, on the screen for you. So it's going to be twitch.tv Glasgow Dev. That's the URL, okay? And the only reason I'm going to Twitch is simply because we can play nice music here without getting copyright strikes. One of the things that has happened with YouTube recently, and it's incredibly unfortunate, is I have a long history of playing music that's marked as being copyright free, and I'm very careful about that. But within the last 3 weeks or so, somebody has gone back and started claiming, because of all of these songs that are marked as copyright free. And every day, I could show you my emails, every day I get messages that I'm getting copyright strikes for this, that, and the next thing. So there's really not anything that you can play on YouTube that's safe anymore as far as music goes. So that's why it's going to be Twitch. So I hope that you'll think about joining me on Twitch. I am going to take a wee break though. I'd like to go for a wee walk or a jog. I'm feeling a bit stuffy. So let me call it a 9 o'clock takeoff for anyone who's up, okay? It's currently 8 o'clock in the UK, but around about 9 p.m. London time, I'll be there on Twitch if anybody's interested. Okay, and in case you're wondering, I'll be working on Trongate MX and maybe a bit of documentation. Right, thank you. Thank you for being here. Stay cool. Bless you all to the highest. And I hope that we can do this again soon. All right. Thank you. And hello to you, Keith. Hello to you. All right. Well, I'll see you there. I'll see you on Twitch in about 1 hour, okay? See you in about 1 hour. Thank you. Thank you. And goodbye.